Fleischer Part 2 fans in here? Huh? Like Niagara on Elm Street? We're back. My favorite. Love dinosaurs. Any Who Framed Roger Rabbit, maybe? Alright, everybody. It's hard to be in the room, so make some noise for Charles Fleischer, everyone.
Make some noise, you could do almost anything.
They chose to just applaud and
make
yell.
Some noise. You know, you could have just done something obscene. Okay, this is good. We have tables.
Oh, we got it. All right.
Microscope.
What does it look like?
Looks like me upside down. Hi, everybody. Oh, hey, people, thanks for coming. I'm really honored to see all these people here.
Oh, we shut it off in the process.
No, it's not a process. It's just
Okay.
process is reserved for cheese and Velveeta.
I mean, you've done so many amazing things in your career. What's the one that's closest to your heart? Do you have one that's a little more special than the rest, or they all kind of share?
My sternum.
Really? Eh?
It's closest to my heart.
Well, you did play a doctor on the screen, so I mean, that makes sense.
Where, doctor? Doctor what?
Were you not a doctor in Niagara on Elm Street? You were a doctor.
Indeed, I was Dr. King.
There you go.
Dr. King. Clarice, you remember when I was a doctor, don't you, Clarice? Is Clarice here? Yes, whatever I'm doing at the moment. But of course, Roger Rabbit. Zodiac, I really enjoyed working on that film with David Fincher.
Oh, very cool. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of course, a groundbreaking film at the time for, it's okay, it happens all the time.
Comedy, my friends! Freaking comedy. I'm talking about, it's the way I like to roll and butter.
Jonathan Frakes is going to slip and fall after this now. He's coming in here after.
I don't think he will slip or fall. But if he does, I'll pick the mother up. Is there I'm restricting myself language-wise, because I don't know if there's children here or not. I do use colorful language, so if there aren't any children here, I can open up my vocabulary. I'm not a child. Barely even a rabbit. No, you'll dress like one. One person cosplayed it. Okay. Anybody here wearing Toontown underwear? Oh, there's another rabbit. Yeah, but when you have to put the ears on as a secondary move, you lose a little credibility. I actually put on my ears, yeah. Let me just put on my mask. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having so much fun with the props.
It's like a variety show now. I like this. It's awesome.
The Exorcist. Nice. It's not what you think. It's what you want to think. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, watch the vacuum. Boom. Ooh, that's beautiful. Slide. Hydroplaning. This is more fun than I've ever had a panel.
This is amazing.
This is my kind of audience. They don't need questions. They just want to see a grown man play with water and soup. And not necessarily in that order. Order, yes. I'd like some soup, please. I'd like some lamb. Okay, so,
yeah, well, we got...
what are my host, person, what's your name, sir?
Tanner.
Tanner?
Tanner, yeah.
What's your last name?
Zipchin.
Zipchin?
Yeah.
Man, Tanner Zipchin, that's a science fiction name.
It is, right?
I am Tanner Zipchin. This is my world.
Tanner Zipchin. Tanner Zipchin had a conniption. It seemed like a subject to fits. He sat on his head and went for the bread, and then he took several big shits.
That is amazing. I'm now updating my bio to that.
I read it from your bio. 12 years into the dirty limerick future.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Amen is what we say when we finish the soup.
Now speaking of we got the costume here in front. When you shot the movie, were you in costume too? Did you throw
I
the ears
had
on?
them make me a Roger Rabbit. It was just the overalls and the ears. Because my voice was recorded live on the set every day, it didn't make sense to just wear what I wore. Everybody else had a costume.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to think I only had one pair of corduroy pants. But yeah, I wore a Roger Rabbit suit. And I was then at L Street in England, Bournemouth Studios, and someone, I think they were filming Superman, and he said, I saw the girl playing Roger Rabbit. It doesn't look anything like a rabbit. So this guy in a suit, that's the movie? That sucks. We didn't tell him. Nipshin, what do you think as far as percentage of people on this side and that side? It seems that there's more on this side, which means that if these were the lobes of the brain, the middle would be the corpus callosum. Anybody know whether that's true or not?
No.
It is true. It's the myelinated tissue, my brothers.
And you could just go for a full panel yourself. I don't know why I'm even here. I'm just gonna hang back, I think.
Well.
Yeah, look at it's amazing.
Well, it's partially what I do for a living, but I'm more than happy to if you want to just nunch on my soup or something. But so how did you get this job?
Well,
they know about that shit.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. They know about that. They want to find out about, hey, who's this young guy with that name that sounds like outer space?
like I have my own planet. I know. Well, I host a show before the movies in Canada at Cineplex Theaters, and we play your movie often, or your movies often, I should say. So it was a nice natural fit. Every year we do a flashback film fest, and Roger Rabbit almost every year we throw that one in there. So there's still a ton of fans that want to see that thing.
This is the 30th anniversary, the 22nd of this month, this month, which is crazy. I'm not even 30 years old. Without counting Nipshin years.
When you made the movie, did you think it was going to work? Because it was a little experimental at the time, right? How did you think this thing was actually going to fit together?
Well, Bob Zemeckis, Richard Williams, some guy named Spielberg or something. Indications were pretty good.
Stefan, right?
Yeah, I was pretty confident, but you never know. Welcome, thanks for being late. Basically, we've been discussing the bathroom habits of orangutans who eat tang before they go into outer space, and astronauts that are naughty.
Very
So, encapsulated in a capsule called...
You missed a lot.
I knew he'd come up on that one.
Missed a lot.
He left a lull and he filled it right in like a button salesman in the middle of Honduras.
Yeah, I mean, we really covered it all at this point. I don't know what's left to talk about.
Well, what's right?
We got
Everything. We could talk about the gamma ray bursts, talk about the golden ratio, talk about the fine structure constant. If they don't know corpus callosum, they don't know that. Google it. Or the fact that square root of 2 plus the square root of 3 equals 3.14. It's pretty close to pi. Come on, it's pretty crazy.
wow.
Mathematical questions?
Yeah, really. If you any questions at all about
I do have a science paper on the Cornell University website concerning a discovery I made about the origin of gamma ray bursts, which are the largest display of energy in the universe. That may be the wrong room. That's room E. E is a mathematical constant equal to about 2.71. Don't think and it's has to do with percentages and interest, and if you were to drop a box of chocolates with 100 chocolates in it, each one in a little place, and then put them back in the box, the chances of all going back into the wrong spot would be about equivalent to what E is. And E to the pi I is imaginary number square root equal -1. E to the pi I plus 1 equals 0. It's known as Euler's identity. One of the most beautiful equations ever. Google that for me. Back me up. Right there, spot.
Can we get a fact check on that? Anyone going to fact check that?
Better be not looking at porn over there, mister. Alright, you got some crazy attitude on your theme. So,
we've already learned so much. We've learned so much. Oh, we do. Okay, wow.
Armpit itch.
When you were on set and filming the movie, did you have to wait until the very end editing to see how the scenes would actually come out, or did you have a way to see how it was going to look at the end once they added the animation? I mean, it must have been a lot of, I hope this looks okay kind of thing. How did they know how it was going to be until the very last edit?
I have no idea what you said, but I like your shirt. Well, my voice was, the reason I was there every day was because they had to record my voice every day with Bob so they could get it right to the animator. So one would not know until it was compiled. In fact, I used to have dreams anticipating what it would look like, and it was some weird Broadway show, and I had to come in and do my lines again, which didn't make sense until someone in the dream said, "Dude, it's just a dream." And I said, "Thanks, dream merchant."
Any other
Did that
questions?
answer your question?
Yeah, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Live long and buy wholesale.
No.
Does anybody know what that is, by the way? Why Leonard Nimoy chose that? It's the blessing of the Cohen tribe, of the 12 tribes.
I thought he was drunk.
And so Spock, Leonard Nimoy was a Jewish, so Vulcan is a Jewish planet.
Where do you absorb all this? Are you like a big Jeopardy fan, or
In my
what is-
rectum.
Okay.
No, I absorb it. I love knowledge and information, and it is power.
Knowledge is power. Check me.
What about you, Clarice? What about you, Clarice? French fries, onion rings, what is it? Mint jelly? Okay, next question.
We had a question over here, the yellow shirt.
Yeah. What was the process for choosing you for Roger Rabbit? Like being a voice, was there a, did you have to go for audition? Like again, following up this gentleman's question, not being able to sort of see, or did they give you a storyboard, or, you know, it's not like sort of reading a script and knowing what the character, well, I guess you still knew what the character was. So
Well, there was a script, but as far as the process, Bob Zemeckis, the director, you, out of here. You're out of here, Puppet. Get out of here now. Don't ever come back to your sticky ass face. Not the room before we can begin. Monstrous toad. Never let him back.
That was the demon himself. Now I can be myself. Orlana is gone.
Bob Zemeckis saw me do my stand-up Comedy Store in Los Angeles and brought me in to help them audition Eddie Valiant character, because they had to someone do Roger Rabbit off camera for him, and after several of those, Zemeckis offered me the gig, and I said, let me think about it. And I said, yes.
And the other voices you did they just sort of decide that you might as well do it all?
Well, I like your attitudes, huh? That was post-production. Lou Rawls was originally Benny the Cab, and Bob said, you want to give that a crack? I said, sure. And then same with Psycho and Greasy. He said, hey, we need some weasels. You want to give those a shot? I said, sure. Anything else? He said, what about the man with the yellow shirt who folds his arms and wears a blue cap? You think you could do him, Clarice? I said, yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for your question, sir. Take your hat off. It's not going to rain. You're perfectly safe and you have hair. Perhaps you should pass it down to the man with no hair. Don't be embarrassed for him. There's nothing wrong with not having hair. It's just follicles. It's what's in your heart that counts. And if there's hair in your heart, that's going to be dangerous. Are you stretching or asking a question? Oh, 2 in a row. How cool. Stand up, please, and address. Why don't you move up to the microphone so we can hear you, and that way it'll be heard on the internet by all the people who can upload the download from the highway to the get low.
Okay, what was it like to work work with Mel Blanc and the guy who voiced Mickey Mouse.
Mel Blanc and who?
The guy who used to voice Mickey Mouse before his death in like early 2000s. Wayne, what? I keep forgetting.
Oh, I didn't work with them.
Really?
But I'll make something up because you're a nice person. It was fantastic. No, Mel, his son Noel did some stuff, but I didn't really work with them because Roger didn't really have scenes with those people. But Mel Blanc was more comfortable doing off-camera. He used to be on the Jack Benny show. He did that famous about your sister, so see, what does she do? So see. Very talented man. And they actually would slow his voice down and speed it up using tape to get certain effects. But I prefer to do it organically.
Organically.
Next question, I'll do 3 of them in a row. Yes, no, Wednesdays.
All right, well that's it for the panel, everybody. So
Yeah, part 2. Don't anticipate the abstraction of the fortunate. This man here with what I call a moderate raised hand. It's a little not committed, but
I don't know if it might be too late to ask, but can you pull your best Roger Rabbit impression?
pardon?
Oh, Roger Rabbit impression?
Well, it wouldn't be an impression. You did it. Was that a stupid question impression? Or are you just pretending to be one? No, don't go judgmental. I mean, this man and I have nothing personal. I say stupid questions, say stupid person. And all questions are, in essence, stupid because they're uninformed, hence the need to inquire. There's only stupid answers, not stupid questions. Can I ask you a stupid question? No. So you want me to do the voice of Roger Rabbit? I want to say it. Once again, I offended, but with love. Please, see, but I can never do it here, not in Canada. It's more fun than William Shakespeare writing the 38th play.
where did you develop the talent, the ability? Is it something you've always done as a kid, like just doing voices and it kind of stuck with you? Or is there like a classical training behind it all? Or how did it work out for you?
That's an interesting question, young man. My classical training was at the Goodman Theater in Chicago, where I studied. And when I went there, they said, lose all the voices. That's the last thing that you will add to your performance. Create the character, create it internally, you know, build the character from his soul, essentially. I've always did lots of different voices. So I have a theory. Let's see, the best. Okay. Can anybody in this room breathe and swallow at the same time? I can answer that question for you. You can't. It's impossible. But as a baby, you can, because it's necessary to suckle your mother's milk or whatever you're sucking on and breathe. But there's a cutoff mechanism where that no longer is valid and you cannot breathe and swallow at the same time. So I have a theory that vocal imprints, if the gentleman who removed your hat, if you had been born in England, you'd talk with an English accent, wouldn't you? So because you take a vocal imprint and then that mechanism kind of locks off and people just kind of, that's the way they talk. But for freaky people or actors or whatever it is, that never gets cut off. So you can still take an imprint, you hear it, and you can still do it. It's a mystery, I don't know how it works. I'm glad that it does though. Ow! This is a very good crowd, by the way. I have seen bad crowds and this doesn't resemble anything like that. There's a lot of future in this past.
All right.
The man with all the equipment. You have another tripod over there, pal, or you're waiting for Zeus to land and take him to the warship?
What was it like to,
Are you reading this question, motherfucker? Really?
We're going welcome back Cotter. We're going back a little ways.
Not really a little ways. It's the 70s, and back a little ways would be perhaps the beginning of the galactic cluster. It was great. That was my first kind of regular, maybe second, on a series. It was real hot at the time. John Travolta, fantastic. I was Calvelli. I was a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I got Murray following me around. Got to beat up Horseshack. Gary Shandling, the great writer, comedian, he wrote the episode where Horseshack and Calvelli have a fight. Gary Shandling, God rest his soul. Great man. All right, there's the Amish guy who wants to play Sylvester Snoop. You, sir. No, you.
Me? Yep. On the Backlot Murders, how much fun did you have on that one, and how much is ad-libbed?
Wow, Backlot Murders. How did you get in here? I just did a little thing for the DVD. There's a new Blu-ray coming out.
Perfect.
I altered things. I mean, every time I'm employed, I feel blessed. I feel grateful, and I enjoy everything I do in that way. It was an odd movie. Have you actually seen it?
Oh, many times.
So you're the guy.
I am.
It's very strange. Very strange. I play a gay director, and their whole gay thing was like, you know, pink and poodles. And I said, hold on, you know, let's try and give this guy some dignity, you know? Just not just about parades and poodles. He's a human being. So I lost the poodle and the parade stuff. But like I say, it was fun, and Corey Haim was in that movie, and Priscilla Barnes.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good. I can't believe Backlot Murders, and it was filmed right on the Universal lot, which is kind of cool. But thanks for bringing that in. Bring that to my booth. I'll sign it for you and have them pay for it.
Sounds awesome.
Is there anything that's a surprise to you when people come by your booth? Like besides, you know, the backlot, anything that you kind of like, I forgot I was in that?
No. I have a really good memory. Oh, for good. If you forget you're in something, I think.
It happens though. Sometimes people are like, oh, I did that? Wait, oh, I guess so.
Yeah, but. Well, somebody bought a Welcome Back Kotter picture today. I thought that was odd. But not as odd as Backlot Murders. You know, anything. It's God bless it all. I mean, I'm happy just to be here. And when I say here, I mean at this table. B, A, on Earth, C,
No translation for that one. Earthlings are so nice.
Yes, ma'am, who shaved your armpits for today. Because if you didn't, that would have been a hairy mess, baby. Woo! Put it down!
That was a perfect segue.
I can't hear one thing you're saying, but your lips are pretty when they move. So either...
Yeah, you want to come over to the microphone?
Come to the mic. We'll have our mic wrangler bring it to you. Tina is wearing a low black cocktail dress with the Armoire Chiffon by Jean Treux. Her leg tattoo is by Shaky Hand Pete.
Good thing I didn't text.
Good thing you didn't text. Tip. Oh, circumcision joke.
I was thinking that response was a perfect segue to my question of all the projects you have worked on, maybe ones you haven't that you would have liked to, or nothing to do with the entertainment industry, since you seem to be a wealth of intelligence. What, if you could only choose one thing to be known for, what would you like that to be?
I would want to be you.
It's already me. I'm already taking it. So
No,
no
it's
fan.
ridiculous hypothetically.
If you could be the ball of an astronaut, would you be the right one or the left one?
Jeez, which astronaut?
You said that you published a paper. You know, is it something that you'd like to be more in the educational front, or is entertainment your life?
They are all part of my dynamic self. If you consider a bicycle wheel, and I am at the center, at the hub, the spokes radiate outwards, in apparently divergent directions, but they all end at the wheel itself. So I'm a scientist, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, inventor, but it's all part of who I am, and it's all necessary for me to facilitate and manifest the abstractions of my congruency, you know what I'm saying? But that was a good question if I was 9. Don't judge, man. I'm doing jokes. That's a good question. It was very good.
If you could be a vegetable and turnips are not on the table, what would you be?
I'm gonna be a turnip! Why can't I be a turnip? It's hypothetical! Third time. See that? It's comedy. I did it twice, nothing new. Third time, big laugh. First time,
All right, we have other audience questions, I think, right?
well, we have more than one.
We've got to come. Well, there was more hands. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we are.
Right there.
Come up to the microphone. Could someone lower the mic for this guy?
Got it.
I'm good at jokes. What's wrong? Have somebody lower that, man. You shouldn't have to look like that. You're a very nice young man. Just take it off the thing and hold it like a human. Just pull it out.
Just tip it like Steven Tyler.
That's the wrong advice to give anybody. Unless you're Joe Perry. And Tyler Perry, he's a movie director, and it's also Aerosmith. Who figured that one out? What's your name, first of all, kid?
Ramsey.
Come a little closer. What's your name?
Ramsey.
Sandy?
Ramsey.
Ramsey?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Ram.
Huh.
How you doing? You named after an Egyptian? Ramses, right?
Yeah.
Just call me Tut.
I
get it.
What's up, little pyramid monkey?
What's up?
Chinese people, artichokes, and false salad. Was that your question, or was that my answer?
That was not
Correct, both. Okay, what's your question, young friend?
I heard you're friends with Marilyn Manson. How did you guys meet?
How does a 9-year-old kid hear that I'm friends with Marilyn Manson? What is this place? What is this place? Who infiltrated the earth? I'm moving to Canada. Get the States. I am friends with Marilyn Manson. I opened for him in Las Vegas in 1999. And he's a really funny, nice man. He does artwork too. I had a show called Fleischer's Universe. It was a streaming internet show. You could go to the internet and pull it up, and Manson was one of my shows. It was just about maybe an hour and 10 minutes of he and I just riffing. It's pretty funny.
Well, how did you guys first meet in the first place? When you guys...
Are you a journalist too, by the way?
When you guys
I got
meet.
the question. I got the question. I got it. It was after a screening of a movie called Permanent Midnight, directed by Ben Stiller, which I was in, and written by Jerry Stahl, who happened to be a writer on a show called Alf. Now, it's Jerry Stahl actually wrote a pilot for me, so I was both in the book as the character that I played and as me. So that's just an interesting side bit that you can tell your grandkids about. And I was at the Whiskey Bar in Los Angeles, and Manson came in after the screening, and we started talking as he just saw me, and we just had a meeting of the minds. He's very intelligent and very funny, and we both had the same mascara. I'm just kidding about that. I don't do makeup. He makes makeup manly. You know what I mean? Ramses. Only a kid named Ramses would ask me about Manson. What's going on? Anyone have a clue? That's a very good question. How do you know that, by the way?
My dad just told me.
Oh, your dad. What daddy is pimping out the little boy? See that blonde woman over there? Go over there and ask her if she does charity. Tell your dad's very lonely. Which one's your dad, pal?
The guy that is doing
Oh,
peace and
now I
honor.
understand. Okay, it's cool. He's a cool guy. Sorry.
We just met met you.
Yeah, I remember. You came by.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. He's yeah, I got it now. Oh, he just took pictures. He's Manson's photographer on the last tour.
Yeah.
Right? See, got a memory like some stolen trap.
Well, when
just a question. It's not literature. Time to write a novel.
Well,
Later, Ramses.
How long are you guys still friends? Are you guys still friends, or are you guys done friends?
Oh, yeah. What's the relationship like now? Is there turbulence?
We're still friends. Just got a text from him. He's in Amsterdam.
Oh.
Well, so one time, are you gonna meet him again and talk to him? And then...
Jeez, I don't plan that much, but I'm planning on meeting you and your dad at my attorney's office. Lawsuits will follow. So get some long pants, Sporty.
All right, man.
Okay, any more questions you have for me from your dad?
I got 10 more.
Are you wearing like an earpiece? Is he telling you over there?
No, he's
He
just...
thinks on his feet. 10 more. That's very good. Could have gone 1,001 more, which is 1,001 is 3 consecutive primes factors. 7 times 11 times 13 equals 1,001.
Did you know that?
Because, you know, 13 is considered unlucky, right? There's no 13th floor in my building where I'm staying. It goes from 12 to 14, but there's no space between the floors. They just misnamed it. Because the ancient cats who could circumnavigate the globe, they knew 7 times 11 times 13 was 1,001, which is backwards and forwards, palindrome, the same, 10 figures. So they outlawed the use of the number 13. And people wouldn't use it. They had their power trip. That is a thought that I got from Buckminster Fuller. It's not my own hypothesis, as opposed to things that are. Ramses, you're getting sleepy. Go back to your dad and punch him in the belly.
No!
I don't really mean that. I'm not a violent person, but it would be fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you're right, dude.
No, it's not.
Oh man, we got a debate happening now.
More than a bait. This is bait already. Little fishy here is going all crazy in the pond.
All right. You have any more questions?
Yeah.
You do.
So...
Okay. Have you thought of this before, or is this coming out right now?
How long were you guys, like, working together? How long were you doing it?
A little tip for you when using a microphone. You don't need to be that, you know, put like a few inches between you and the actual mic. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
No.
I
gotta get one here. That's fine.
Yeah, you'd rather, but my ears are bleeding.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
You don't know that.
I don't see red. I don't see any red right there.
Yeah.
I just see your eyes and the... No, I mean...
Hey, guys, come here, this kid. Just kidding. He's okay. He's a good man, but, you know, he starts questioning my bloody ears. Don't make me shoot you with a bloody wax box. I'll do it, dude.
All right,
Too bad your kid has no personality, sir.
I don't know what I'm catching.
Next time, maybe you should take the meth out of the cereal, you know? Just saying. It's not a good place to stash.
I know.
One last question?
Yes.
Fruit Loops, they're blue.
So...
Is it about Marilyn Manson?
Yes. So how was the show doing? Was Marilyn Manson about the show?
You're out of here.
All right, give it up for Ramsey, everybody.
Ramsey, his questions lasted longer than the actual building of the pyramids.
Well, I'm not ancient, okay? I'm not ancient. If I was, I had been over cavemen.
It's true.
Okay, Ramsey.
All right, man.
Come to the conclusion that you are not a child.
Yes, I am. I'm over some years old.
Baby legs. Move away. Okay.
All right.
I always say that with love because I know his dad. Okay.
We have another
friend over here.
So, on that note, you were going to improvisational, like think stuff like right off the cuff.
There we go. Now we're doing it right. Pass the mic like it's a bomb.
Oh no. So, can you hear me all right?
Dion Gordon. Yes.
So you're really good on the improvisation up front. Like stuff comes off the cuff, it just comes naturally, it comes fluidly. Is that something that you've always inherently had, something that was learnt, and where did you learn that?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's a combination of things that you are born with intrinsically and then that you develop. I think any talent or skill set, you have an ability to do it and then you work on it and become more adept at it. Jonathan Winters was certainly an inspiration. Groucho Marx is thinking on your feet and just, it's synapse, you know, firing with the neuron, so to speak.
All right.
Does that answer your question?
It does, thank you very much.
What kind of work do you do, sir?
Sorry.
You shouldn't be sorry unless it's a really bad job. What kind of work do you do?
Nothing like that whatsoever. I do accounting.
Accounting. What's your favorite number?
5.
Took you long enough. Did you have to count to 5 to get to that answer? What's your favorite number? 5.
Now you got a lot of comedy under your belt and acting as well. Why do you think comedians make such good actors? Why is that transition so easy? We see so many successful comedians that make the transition.
Not completely. I mean, I don't think there's probably a lot of comedians that aren't good actors. They're just funny. I don't want to name any because I don't want to speak disrespectfully, but I certainly could. Don Rickles. You know, I think there's certain people just have a gift and they're blessed and they can get into the character and drop the exterior and make it real. But I would say just generally all comedians are not good actors, just like generally all hosts are not as smart as you.
Oh, thank you. Well, successful, I mean, like successful actors. You see a lot of companies, a lot of studios, they look for comedians to bring up, and we see a lot of...
Yeah, that's because they're funny.
Yeah.
And there's different levels of acting too. I mean, you know, there's like Gary Oldman level acting, where, you know, characters are all different, and there's, you know, more like even old school, I have tremendous respect for Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant, but basically they're always, you know, the same guy. Nothing wrong with that.
For you starting in this industry, was there anybody that you looked up to personally, that you grew up with, that really inspired you?
Groucho Marx, Jonathan Winters, yeah. Jimi Hendrix, Mark Chagall, Einstein, Lou Buffet, MC Escher, Archimedes, and Lou Schneer. See, nobody knows Lou. What a shame.
And how do you think the industry has changed over the years? Do you think it's, you know, from when you were, you know, doing what you were doing and into the world of acting and breaking it? How has that changed? How do you think it would be if you were doing this today in this world?
That's a great question. I really couldn't say other than, like everything changes. It's just the nature of the world.
The social media is a big part of things now. A lot of people get to start online and social media.
Yeah, there's more, I think perhaps more is equated to finance, and if, you know, some guy has a show on YouTube or something, he automatically gets some, but that doesn't necessarily equate to longevity or talent or depth or heart. You know, I think heart and art will always be vital and valid and manifest.
Yeah, we do see a lot of almost like overnight successes now. These people that have a big, like you say, YouTube channel, and all of a sudden they're in something, but it never seems to be that long lasting.
Yeah, it's because, you know, it's a quick way up and a quick way down, and you know, it's a rough business. It's more difficult because there's probably more idiots in the castle.
Well, I think we have time for maybe one more audience question, and then I think that is it.
My friend Ivan the Bearded.
Just one real quick one. 2 years ago, excuse me, did you bet for or against the Cubbies?
I cannot answer that question. Senator, I don't recall, Senator. I don't recall. I don't remember. I don't recall. Thank you, Senator. I imbibed that Burmese girl. Yes, Meniscus?
Did you and the person who played Jessica get along well while filming the movie?
Well, the person who played Jessica during the filming was named Betsy Brantley. She was later replaced by Kathleen Turner. But yes, we got along very well. You're not going to drop a lawsuit on me, are you? Yes, I pride myself in being able to get along with even scorpions.
Wow, those are hard to get along with.
That's why I pride myself in it. Except for that one, step on it.
There's a lot of things under this table that you guys can't see. Well, on that note, I think that's it. Everybody, make some noise for Carl.
Thank you very much. Our next song we'd like to read. Thank you. What a great crowd. Come visit me in my booth. Steal my money.
Don't do that. No. Stealing is wrong.
He's a joker. He's a joker.
All right. Thanks, everybody.